Okay, so looks like it's just us two right now here. So let's start then. Yeah, I guess like some other people might join later, so that would be pretty cool. So thank you for joining my next workshop, and this will be me demonstrating how to create concept using one photo, using photobashing techniques for to speed up your process. And I think this technique is quite useful, best suited for like front or like side orthographic views for creating props and concept art such as buildings and vehicles and items. So I guess just like the previous workshop we did last time, last 2 months ago I think. Yeah, I guess I kind of encourage you to create something together. You don't have to copy what I'm doing, but something together in real time that I'm demonstrating. And yeah, so if you have any questions or anything, you can always write it down in the workshop chat space channel where we can communicate. So yeah, so the workshop will I guess be approximately be around 1-2 hours long, I guess. It could be more. I mean, I can actually kind of work quite peacefully right now since it's just only us two. So yeah, so I'm about to start the demonstration, but do you have any questions so far? You can write down in the workshop chat space channel if that's okay. Cool. Yeah, would you be able to write down in the workshop chat space channel if that's okay? Since like I might have to just I'm opening like the video recording screen in a different pop-up window, so if that's okay. Okay, so let's start then. So I guess you can see my screen, right? I'm thinking of maybe let's say create like a bike maybe or something similar, like a hover bike or something. So let's go on to the internet, example, and I'm gonna search for something that you can use to create this bike, but obviously not the actual bike itself. So let's say I don't know, maybe okay, let's say like a drill, for example. Okay. Maybe a drill front. Let's just use this drill. Cool. So I'm gonna try and find something like a photo, which is more likely in a side view rather than a diagonal view, because it's more easier to use and manipulate the photo. So, could be this one, I guess. Or okay. All right. Yeah, that's the right place to chat. Sorry, I have my Japanese people commenting on the section too, but yeah, please do if you can. Yes, thanks. Yes, it's more easier to see because I'm opening a different window for that. So yeah, I'm looking for a drill, maybe in a side view. I guess this one could work. So I'm going to copy the image. And I'm going to paste it on here. I'm just going to resize the thing. Hang on, sorry to interrupt. I'm just going to write down sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I'm just writing to some of my Japanese people if they're just interested in joining this workshop in English. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, so sorry to interrupt that. I'm gonna copy the image since I'm gonna have this one just to have it as a reference that I'm using drill to create like a bike. And cool. So I have this image, which I guess is quite good in resolution wise for now. So I'm going to use the magic wand tool first of all, just to delete the white parts, since we don't need that. Yeah, cool. So something like this. And now I'm gonna try and create a bike, or maybe like a hover bike or something, or some kind of sci-fi or some kind of real thing. So I'm gonna first of all try and create the body of the bike. Okay. So I'm gonna use either a polygon lasso tool to select my stuff, as it's more easier to get shapes and stuff like that. Okay, so and as I said again, like you can always, you don't have to copy what I'm doing. You don't have to use drill. You can use like something else that you like for it. So cool. I mean, these drills, they have some interesting kind of volumes and shapes, so pretty cool. I just want to see how it's going to look like when I create like a bike, for example. Okay. It's already quite interesting. So I'm just using the distortion tool, where I just select the object, and then by hitting Control, I get this cursor where you can just distort the shape and stuff, and try and create something which is an interesting shape, maybe for the bike. Okay, cool. Oh, right, I see. No worries. That's cool. Yeah, you can sit back and relax and watch what I'm doing. No worries. Cool. So, I mean, either ways, I'm gonna talk through this demonstration just to let you know what I'm doing. Okay, so let's say this could be pretty interesting to use on this part. I mean, this could actually be like a, where people sit, like like maybe 2 people, one here, one here. So that could be pretty interesting. Okay. Let me see what it can do. Let's see what it can use with this part. Let's see. It's a pretty interesting shape we have here. So let's see what we can do with this. So I'm going to bring this maybe back, or again maybe in front, just playing around where I can have this. So maybe around here. Yeah, I'm going to have it around here for now. Then I could use this one, or maybe this part too. Just gonna have some extra parts in it. And let's say we put it somewhere where it looks kind of suited where it belongs. Yeah, so the shape itself right now doesn't really look epic, so I need to still work out the shapes. Actually, maybe I think I can maybe make this kind of long. Like this. Then just gonna lock this layer so I don't have to move this around accidentally. So I'm gonna place it around here. Maybe you can use this part. So the whole goal of this demonstration is, using just one image, only one image, and create the main picture, the main illustration of what you want to create. Thank you. Still, it needs to be more sexy, juicy and shape-wise. So I still need to adjust quite a lot. I mean, I could actually make it more organic by using the warp tool and then curve out the shape a bit more. Like this, for example. But again, you don't have to. You can always maybe, copy the shape, and then you can always distort it, for example. and see what kind of other shapes you can create from this. Maybe this could be on the front. Race pod. Is that for like Star Wars? Hmm. Oh, I guess that's pretty cool. They remind you of that. Space. Oh, race pods. Hmm. Hmm. But yeah, I don't like this shape, maybe, so I could either change it, I could make it smaller, or I can even distort it again, which I might have to. Just to try and find like a shape. That's pretty cool. Okay, so great. We have a new guest. Welcome to my workshop. Cool. So for now, let's just put it in here. Okay. And what else do we have here? Let's say we maybe use this part for some random reason. Hi Klein, how are you? Thank you for being here. And as you can see, I'm doing my workshop demonstration right now. You don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing. You can, create your own stuff if you want. I mean, yeah, you can create what I'm doing right now, but yeah. The purpose of this is using one image and then create a concept from that. Okay, so let's see. What can we do with this? I'm gonna put this on the back for now. Maybe this way. I mean, for now, I don't know what it is yet. But again, I'm just playing around and experimenting with shapes just to see what I can kind of get from this. And if it doesn't work, you can always, experiment and place it somewhere different. Because you're also trying to find happy accidents from this. So again, as I mentioned earlier, you can always distort the image. Example. You can resize it. And you can try and, play around the shapes as much as possible. Since we're still only starting out. I guess I could use this part maybe. So let's just cut out this part. Okay. So I just flipped horizontally the image, and then I'm thinking of adding some kind of, not jetpacks, but thrust engines. As this part, it looks like thrust engines to me. Maybe it doesn't for some people, but for me it does. So, ooh, that's kind of big. Again, you don't want to have it too big because you're also focusing on the shape instead of it, or of you know, what you're trying to create from it. Sorry, I think my voice has kind of gone a bit rusty, but yeah, excuse that for me. Okay. Okay. See, I don't know what this one will function yet, but I'm still leaving it as it is for now, because some kind of idea might come up later on. So I'm still placing it here so far. Oops, this one here. And let's see what I can do right now. Maybe I can put some handles on, for example. So, I'm gonna copy and paste this, since I'm using, I might use quite a lot of this. And I think, this part here, let's see what I can do with this. And if not, again, just try and error. And you can always try and find a different part or different selection of your chosen image. So I'm trying to create maybe a like a front glass, for example. So maybe this part might work, like this. And I'm going to distort this. I'm going to put it around maybe here. And I want to kind of have it organic, so again, I'm using the warp tool for this. And yeah, let's just see what kind of shape I can come up with. And once you've done that, I'm gonna maybe change the opacity, maybe make it a bit more lower, since it's like maybe some kind of resin type front glass I have. Yeah, maybe around 50% or maybe 60%. And I'm just gonna create a mask tool, and then just erase that part where I don't need. That could be maybe here. For example. And if I'm happy with it, I can always apply the layer mask, or I can just leave it as it is. But yeah, I'm just gonna apply the layer mask for this. And if you do it, it's kind of destructive. So I mean, yeah, if you don't want to, create like a destructive kind of workflow, you can always either copy the layer and then just have one of it as a backup. Just close on the view part in here. Just close the eye section here, and then just apply layer mask. And yeah, you can just play around with this one here. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue working on this. And it's always pretty cool to view in, zoom out, because if you're constantly working like this, it's kind of pretty hard to see the overall image. I mean, you can always have a navigator in here too, but it's better to kind of be flexible and just zoom in and zoom out quite often. And you know, let's say you're kind of quite happy with like maybe this shape, for example. You can again use a mask tool, and then I usually choose like a hard round brush in here without this. And then I just quickly create like a silhouette, like a sharp kind of silhouette, for example, like that. Which you can do, but again, I'm not kind of happy with the shape, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is for now, like this. Okay. So again, I'm just continually finding different shapes and forms from this one image where I can try and fit in wherever it can, which looks cool. So maybe this part. I'm gonna put it somewhere in the lower different layer underneath. Maybe I can, squeeze this a bit more. Something like this, maybe. And this one, I don't know if it's gonna work out, so I could either have it at the bottom layer, like so. And then, so maybe these parts could be some kind of useful thing to use. Oops. Okay. Maybe. Maybe I'm gonna flip this. So yeah, just experimenting. Use the mask tool, and maybe just try and exploring some shapes for now. And even from this, I've instantly thought I could use this part. So if I apply mask layer for it, excuse this part. I was thinking maybe I could use this for the pipes, the wires, for example, and I can try and make it more organic. So I'm using a warp tool. then adjusting the size and distorting it at the same time. Cool. And then no, that doesn't look good. So I'm gonna leave it as it is for this part. No, it doesn't look good when it's big. So I'm gonna go back and create more pipes. I could either use this one, or I could, try and find a new part, use it for that. And I think I like this kind of texture, so I'm gonna get this part, copy, paste, and let's see, I have it here. I'm gonna either distort it or copy paste, because I don't want to distort the actual texture, otherwise it doesn't look good. So I'm gonna copy paste, place it around here, and then I'm gonna use a mask tool just to be not destructive, and use a soft brush and use this, press this button here, because if you don't, it's like you're basically painting or erasing 100%. But when you have this, you can control your brush pressure, and you can try and create something seamless by being careful on your pen pressure. So yeah, let's just say if I'm happy with this, I am gonna join together the layers by pressing Ctrl E, and then I could either highlight, use the selection tool, maybe over the rectangle, like that, select that part, copy, or either cut, and then delete the part which you don't need, and paste by pressing Ctrl V, or maybe Ctrl Shift and V to paste in place. So let's just say I have this now. So I want to create this as maybe like a pipe. Not always. You could start doing this. Let's say if you have no ideas, for example, on creating a concept. But also, let's say you already made like a thumbnail or like a silhouette sketch already, and if you want to add like instant detail, then you can use this method, because you're using photos and it's really fast. Yeah. So right now, I'm just carefully distorting this, so I'm going to try and make a pipe, like a pipe kind of layer, but it doesn't have to be too detailed, since I'm gonna have it maybe around this size. Also, maybe around this part. Also, so let's just say, yeah, maybe I like it to have it somewhere here. And again, I'm going to use the work tool. Yeah, I do use Blender, but I use Blender after when the thumbnail stage is finished. So, you know, let's say when you're creating the rough design, I use Blender for it. So, yeah, literally, if this was a thumbnail, then yeah, I already know what parts I need to create and well, I need to just add lightings and materials and so on the Blender. But I normally use 3D Coat with a ZBrush to model my stuff, or either kit bashing, and I can just do that either in Blender or any 3D software that I want. And when I do kit bash, oops, sorry. When I do kit bash, I don't just like just use the model as itself, but like what I'm doing, with this thing here, I basically break down the parts of the model that I have for my kit bashing, and then like a puzzle or like creating some kind of crazy stuff. You just like start stacking different models together and create something that's pretty original, whereas very far from the original model that you had already. Okay. Here. And so what can I do also with this shape? I can maybe flip it. No worries. I mean, maybe one day I could like do a workshop using just showing my process, but it could kind of take long, so I'm not sure yet. I was thinking of maybe creating a tutorial for it, but yeah, still not sure yet for that. But yeah, glad you asked about the question. Hmm. So maybe try and this one here, copy paste maybe another pipe underneath. Could be a huge one. And another tip is, let's say this is pretty blurry, very pixelated. You can always go on the filter section, and then if you go on the sharpen and sharpen here or sharpen edges, you might not be able to see like that much, but slightly sharpens the pixelated part. And you can even sharpen edges. Sharpen more like that, and you can try and get your pixels kind of back, but you don't want to do it for an image that's maybe like this big, and then you suddenly blast up about this much, and then try and use the sharpen thing, because it's just not going to look good. I mean, yeah, I do kind of advise you guys to try and use like a high resolution image as much as possible. just to get more good quality work. But again, you can always paint over the parts that's pixelated, and then try and even out everything, you know, balancing the details and so. And as you can see, you know, since I'm only using photos and I'm not applying lighting it does kind of look kind of ugly for now. But you'll see the magic when I add lighting, because that's where all the magic comes from. Yeah, sorry, I'm just kind of, you know, messing around. One second. Okay. So, okay, let's just yeah, I kind of like the place around here, maybe. And then maybe another one is here for now, as I'm gonna work this one a bit more, just to give it that kind of shape that looks more natural. Maybe something like this for now. Then okay. I'm gonna maybe put this one at the very bottom layer, since I don't want to show it too much. Ah, thank you. Yeah, it's all about lighting that really pops out the image of any, you know, any illustration or anything, any concept that you do. For me, I think lighting is key, since it, you know, tells you the story and gives it more realism to it. Okay, and just see this one now. So maybe I'm gonna add some kind of. Let's see what I can do with this. Is maybe this part, or maybe this part. Maybe this part. I'm gonna copy paste, flip it horizontally. I'm gonna try and place it maybe somewhere around here. Use a masking tool. Oops. Use a soft round brush just to make it more seamless, like this. And merge together the layers, like so. I kind of sound like a school teacher. I don't know why. Well, I do kind of sound like my school teacher back in when I was in secondary school or something like that. But yeah, anyway, doesn't really matter. Cool. So got that. Try and get this piece here, and then again, I'm just gonna copy paste, flip horizontally, and let's just put it maybe around. Yeah, I'll put it here. Then use a soft round brush, like so. And then on these parts here, you can either manually, you know, paint over the part. Again, I'm just using a soft brush. Pick maybe a red, and just, you know, carefully paint in that part just controlling your pen pressure, so it looks more seamless, like so. Actually, I'm going to do the same on here. So just carefully paint over the parts, like so. Yep. Okay. And what can I do with this? Some kind of like a, how do you call it? You know, there's like a biker packs where you can, you know, put in like your luggage and equipment and stuff. Maybe it could be something like that. And maybe I can add this. Oh, that's too big. Maybe even here. Thank you. Okay, I'll leave it maybe around here for now. And again, it's kind of hard to see right now since I haven't applied the lighting at all, but you'll see. Okay, so now, what else can I do with this? I can even, you know, use the actual entire image. So I'm gonna just copy, paste before I destruct the actual image itself. And you know, I can distort this too, actually. So maybe this could kind of give me some interesting, funky kind of designs, maybe. So we can see what it can do. And you know, again, I'm just kind of zooming out just to see the overall image, how it will look like. I could do that if I have enough time. We'll see. We'll see what I can do. But hopefully, yeah, hopefully we can just see how much time I have left to finish this off. Yeah, it kind of looks like a, I don't know, to me it kind of looks kind of lame to me. With this kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's because I have this part here. Maybe I can either heighten this part up like this, for example. I'm gonna put this at the very bottom layer just to see how it looks. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting kind of shape, interesting look. No, I didn't, to be honest, I didn't like this. It just doesn't look good at all. Yeah, I don't want to be rude to anyone if they think it looked good, but cool. Again, just try and error, you know, because that's the part which is fun about trying to create something cool just by using photos. Exactly. Okay, so maybe this could work. We'll see. I just don't need this part here. Oh, hard round brush. Yeah, maybe this could be useful in some ways. This small part maybe won't. I'll just leave it as a for the silhouette sake. And then I'm gonna maybe distort this part a bit more, just to see how it looks. I could even try and make it more bulkier or comfier, or maybe could be some kind of back on the stool for the person, like a dude sitting here. Then just so that he doesn't fall off, something like that. Yeah, sorry guys if I sound lame, just tell me, But again, I'm just having fun. So sorry for that. Okay, so we have this. Alternatively, what you can do is, so the wires, the pipes that I have here, it looks kind of ugly because it's distorted. You can always like, yeah, if you don't like the texture here already, and if you're ready to use some other texture, just again use this. Maybe pick like a large chunk of the image, like so, and you can either we can do this. Sorry, never mind what it said actually to this, because to be honest, it's much more easier to go on the internet like so and just type in pipes, pipes PNG. But these ones come up, so maybe you can look for either cables PNG, and even these ones come up. So the last kind of resort that I go with, yeah, it's very generic shapes we have here. I mean, even this one too, it doesn't look good, it doesn't look realistic. So this trick, what I sometimes do is, the last resort I go to is, if you guys know Vitaly Bulgarov, he's like a god for 3D. Maybe I spelled the name wrong, sorry for that. And then I usually go on his, he has a cable, 3D cable, PNG, 3D cable, or like, pipe packs like this, like so. And what I do is simply copy, paste, like so. Yeah, sure. Wait a minute. Sorry. So yeah, if I just copy, paste this in here. Like this. He's a god for creating 3D stuff, especially mix and sci-fi stuff. Yeah. So let's say we have this, and then there's a few options you can do. You can either just simply use a magic wand tool if you want to just kind of go dirty, because I just picked out the background color for this, but also it kind of picked out parts that are already included in the shape. And if you want to use this part too, then you can either use a lasso tool to cut shapes, or you can use a color range tool. And then if you pick out the background color, then you basically adjust its fuzziness, which will allow you to control the area of how much you want it to select. So let's see if I have it right here. it does kind of better, I guess. Trying to pick out this part. And you can simply just hit delete or either mask. Oops. Mask by pressing Alt and mask. And then you have this part over here ready. And then from here you can just simply use the select tool and oops, I'm just gonna apply layer mask in here. So use select tool, then cut it out, paste it. You can still see some parts in here, these parts. So you can either use the magic wand tool to delete that part, or you can just simply manually erase it. And the key thing is you don't want to directly use this because obviously copyright purposes, copyright reasons and stuff. So again, you want to adjust it, you want to distort the thing, and you want to just do whatever you can to try and not look like what it is. So that's one of the tricks that we actually use in the industry too. I know like it kind of sounds cheating, but if you get your work fast done for your client or your art directors, then they're not going to be fussed. Sorry, but that's the reality of it. So right now I'm just having the I'm just going to decide to have these blurred parts as my template, so I can shape it out. Yeah, that's the sad truth about the industry. I mean, yeah, exactly. You have to work smart, work fast. Try and get everything in time. Sorry, I don't know what I did here. Okay, layers. Nope. Okay. What did I just do here? Okay, I'm just gonna go into essentials. Yeah. There you go. Sorry for that. Okay, just gonna adjust this a bit. Okay, so we have this cable. So I'm just gonna quickly, adjust the shape of it. Just gonna put this at the back, and I'm just gonna highlight all the wires, the pipes that I have that are already like distorted in shape. So what I do is basically I right click, and then this part in no color. Maybe I can just choose like a red or something, just to indicate which layer is which. I mean, I can always just name it, which is again more smart. But there's always different alternative ways of doing it. Cool. So here, right. Cool. So this one's here. Just gonna move this at the back, and then we're gonna mask it, delete some parts. So I'm gonna do the same thing for these parts too, but at the same time I can always use a different pipe. So maybe I can use Spiegel shit. Haven't heard of that one. Sorry about that. I don't know if any of you guys know. Sorry that I don't know that one. But yeah. Oops. Alright, so let's see, I have it maybe somewhere here. And maybe for some crazy reason, maybe, kind of connects it to here. Very ugly, sorry for my, very dirty kind of, rusty kind of way of working. But I'm just showing you as a example demonstration process of how to create something just using one image. Okay, and I might use this one too, as I just want to speed up the time a bit. Okay. So you just kind of want to carefully adjust using the warp tool where you want to place. Very red. Okay. Maybe. Right, let's see what I can do. I might just leave these two out as it is, since it's quite small. I mean, I can even just resize it. Well, I can always paint over it. No worries. Thank you for joining. So yeah, as you can see, I'm basically creating a demonstration of maybe making like a hover bike right now. So far, I guess it looks more like a hover bike using one image. And I'm just showing everyone just various techniques on what you use to create this. Right, so let's just say I'm kind of happy with this. I might not be happy with. Ooh, yeah, this part that looks ugly. Yeah. So basically, if you see what I'm doing, so basically I'm using this one single image here. So I have it here as a high res. And then I am looking for shapes that I can use to create parts of what you want to create for your artwork. So for example, right now I have this part here, and I'm thinking what I can use. I can distort it like this, for example. I can use the warp tool to make different kind of organic kind of shapes like this. I mean, that could be pretty cool. Could be used for something. And you can resize, or you can go crazy and see what kind of interesting shapes you can try and find from doing this. Yeah. So this is like this is like a pretty cool fast technique. Yeah. To use, especially when you don't have time, or let's say you don't have any ideas, or you want to create a thumbnail with a lot of detail. And this is one of the techniques that you can do, since you're using photos, so you already have the details already inside, so you don't have to worry about it. Alright, so let's just say I'm kind of happy with this for now. I mean, I have this part here, so I might use this for something. So I'm just gonna distort this, maybe. I'm gonna put this layer somewhere behind here for now. Maybe use a warp tool just to make it a bit more organic in shape. And yeah, so again, like you don't have to copy what I'm doing, create this hover bike. You can create anything that you want. So feel free to create something that you want. And after my demonstration, I'm happy to see if anyone has any work that they've done, so I can review. So maybe I can put this one here. Oops. Cool. Okay. So another thing is, obviously, it doesn't look, it doesn't make the point strong that it's a hover bike or anything. So before I add lighting and stuff, I'm gonna quickly find an image of maybe like a biker, maybe a biker silhouette. Yeah, not these kind of BMX types, motorbikes actually. Sorry. You can either find a motorbike silhouette, but still, again, motorbike, sorry, or motorcyclist. But again, silhouettes, it won't look too good. It doesn't look too appealing. So you can just type in maybe a motorbiker or maybe biker, and then maybe side view. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna do this like as a demonstration purpose. So I'm gonna maybe choose this guy for now. I'm gonna copy paste. Oops, sorry. What did I do? Okay, sorry for that. Just my Windows again. It's kind of going weird. Okay. Yeah. So maybe I can try and find another one. Or maybe maybe this one. Could use this one maybe. Yeah, although I think the resolution pixel is not really good, but again, like you want to try and find like a good high resolution image just to make it more realistic as possible. I mean, if that's what you want at the final stage for your thumbnail or your work. Alright, so yeah, I don't want to lose too much time, so I'm going to use maybe this one for now. I mean, you see the loading, or I could either click on the website and then try and find the original image. Okay, it actually it's actually pretty pixelated, pretty bad. But okay, anyways, I have the image here for now. Cool. Then, okay, let's see what I can do. Yeah, so I keep saying this, but sorry if I'm kind of going dirty with this. But again, it's just for my demonstration purposes, just to show you the point. So I'm using a polygonal lasso tool, I think. Yeah, polygonal lasso tool to quickly cut out an image or part, or maybe like and you don't want to do what I'm doing. Actually, it's actually a bad example. Like, you know, these kind of selections, it's very ugly. You know, that it doesn't look good. So you want to try and avoid that as much as possible. You want to try and carefully either you can use a mask tool. Oops, why the settings like that? You can use a mask tool to quickly erase the part that you don't want, and then like so. Let's see if I'm okay with this selection so far. I apply the layer mask, I go into color range, and then I choose this color here, this background color, and you can adjust this to see how much selection you want. And since I haven't applied my layer mask and I have some places that I want here, the white parts here, I use the layer mask like so. So it's not destructive because I just hid the parts that I masked. And then I can just go back, paint back inside, and apply a mask. And then manually erase with an eraser parts that you don't want, like so. And these parts here, there's this trick you can do, which I learned from a map painter that I used to work with. And if you go into the layer section on the matting section here, there's a part called defringe. And then if you click that and hit OK, it basically erases the outside part which you don't want, which is pretty handy, since you do sometimes get these ugly kind of white outlines or whatever outlines that you have. And again, just repeatedly erase the parts that you don't want, like so. Cool. So this goes big. Okay. Alright, so let's just say okay, so if I was to have this guy here, this dude here, obviously I need to adjust this thing here. So before I do that, I'm gonna just click type this guy human, maybe, or guy, dude, whatever. Just gonna highlight this yellow. Then I'm just gonna see where this one is. So it's here. I'm gonna have it top, and then I'm gonna adjust this again because yeah, it doesn't look quite good. It looks kind of weird, Still, like, just need to like adjust bit by bit as you can. Cool. Okay. And then maybe I don't know if I'm gonna use this girl. It looks really cheesy, so I might not. No, that looks really cheesy. Let's just say, how much time do we have left? It's 11:33. Okay. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna try and find a different one actually. See how that goes. Motor cyclist. So yeah, if you don't find like the image that you want, always keep trying and like, you know, search for something different, like different keywords, but obviously like similar, same meaning. Okay, so oh, yeah, like that one. Though he's red. And yes, let's see what else we have. Maybe this one. And then bike, motorcyclist behind, or maybe back. Let's see what we have. Right, okay, cool. So let's just leave it like this. I'm just going to quickly select the helmet. Like so. And I'm going to adjust by using a levels tool by hitting Ctrl L to open this up and adjust the values. Because it's just popping too much. Photoshop. I guess you could if you go on YouTube, maybe I think if you type in like Photoshop tutorial, like as it is, I think there are quite a few handy tutorials out there that you can find useful. Maybe it's just for me, like I haven't really learned it through like tutorials on Photoshop because I just, you know, played around with it and, you know, see what works and what doesn't. But yeah, I think there should be quite a lot of useful tutorials out there on YouTube if you search for it. I don't know if that kind of helps you answer. So I'm going to use maybe this one actually as a helmet. And another trick you can do with this, since, you know, when I use the magic wand tool, it kind of selected this part too, the lightest part of the helmet. This is another technique that I learned from my map painter, but you select everything. You select the image by either hitting Control and you click on the layer. You copy by pressing Control C. You go to the channels. Yeah, I understand. There's a lot of buttons that you do have to get used to. Although I would say I can show you, like, you know, I can tell you which ones that I use the most because, you know, we obviously don't use like everything, like you don't use all hotkeys and stuff. But in terms of like navigating, so I use the spacebar to pan around. I don't know if you know that one. I use Control and spacebar to zoom in and out, and then okay, and then I mean, I'm not sure which part I should kind of start explaining. Yeah. Okay. So I have this. Sorry, yeah. I'm not ignoring anything. I'm just trying to concentrate on this too at the same time. But you can. Right, more like wrapping images and making cuts. Cool. So yeah, I'll show you just a moment for this one. So I'm just gonna copy, go back to the RGB, go back on the layers section, and then if I press on mask tool, you can either press on the mask tool or you can press Alt mask, and there you go. You have a clean image with the cutout we have here. And yeah, okay, so the part where you're saying about wrapping images using a wrap tool, you press Ctrl T to select the image. You press the you right click on your mouse to open this up, and then there's this part called work. And when you get this kind of grid section, you can use a pen tool to play around with different kind of distortions and stuff. So it's very useful and handy when you want to, let's say, create some kind of organic kind of shape or completely different shape that you want that will, surprise people. So I guess that's just one way of doing it, I guess. Yeah. So in this part too, again, you use a fringe tool to cut out the white parts, unwanted parts. Flip horizontal for this. Move the layer up so that it's above the human guy, the dude guy, like so. And the part that's actually, where is this part? Human. This guy, his values are kind of, it's a bit washed out. So you want to push it a bit more, strengthen the contrast a bit more, just to balance it out more. Like that. Cool. Okay, so let's see what else I have here. I'm gonna just use this since I don't want to, have you guys all like waiting, and it's been pretty long so far for this workshop too. So let's just say we have it here. I'm gonna move it back, and then I'm gonna manually erase some parts. Like so. Yeah, sure. Definitely. I'll type in the shortcuts after this workshop, if that's okay. Well, actually, I think alternatively, there is a page, I think. So if you, let's say, type in Photoshop shortcut useful keys, and then maybe this page. So this part here, the most frequently used Photoshop shortcut keys. I mean, these could be pretty useful. So maybe this one could help you. Yeah. Hopefully. Yes. So yeah, it's more about like I guess researching the right keywords, I'd say. But hopefully, yeah, that should be somewhat useful for that. Okay, so we're gonna try and push this more further because kind of running out of time. So I'm gonna go on to lighting. So I'm gonna basically highlight the whole work that I've done and then put it into a different group. I'm just gonna call this like maybe raw. And then I have a lighting here, and maybe these ones I don't need anymore, so I'm just gonna delete it. And yeah, so before you go into lighting, you go in raw, you go on the group that I just created, then press Ctrl J to duplicate, Ctrl E to merge, Ctrl U to open up the hue saturation, and then what I'm basically doing is I'm creating a silhouette, because if I press on the Control button and hover on the layer which I just created as a silhouette and click on it, I'll basically create myself a mask of what I created, which is very useful when it comes to adding lighting and shadow, because you don't have to paint outside the silhouette that you have for the work. So it's very handy. And I'm gonna create a shadow layer. So while I'm creating a shadow layer and choosing a soft round brush, I'm just thinking where the lighting's gonna hit. And at the same time, I can already say that you already have some hints. Like you have you have the lighting reflection here, and you have it in here, and maybe here this part too, and here. So overall, somewhere like you're looking maybe that the lighting source is maybe around here, from the top part. So maybe it could be at the very top, or slightly maybe to the left or to the right. So maybe I'll say slightly to the right. So we have the light source slightly here. Alright, so I'm gonna create my shadows based off my light source that I apparently have it here. So I'm gonna put this on. I'm using a soft round brush, and then I'm gonna carefully go in and paint the parts that I think are dark. Another quick thing you can do before this actually is you can use a gradient tool. So I create a new layer, I put it below the shadows, and then if you go in the paint bucket tool, there's a gradient tool here. So if I go back and select my silhouette, I'm going to call this gradient for now just to make it easier for everyone to see. And then if I drag this like this, just as it is, oops, sorry, the other way actually. So you can reverse the colors, or you can press X to reverse the colors, like so. So yeah, I have to put this way actually. So you immediately get this kind of gradient where I have the dark part here at the bottom and the light part at the top. And then you could either use a soft light, darken and multiply, or I mean you can just use it as a normal tool. And then I adjust the opacity because this is too much. It's not real. So maybe it could be around here, let's say, as a start off. And then you can use the soft round brush where I'm selecting on the shadow layer, and again just paint in the parts that you think are covered in shadow. So this is the magic part where everything becomes it has volume, so it makes it look more realistic. Otherwise, having just photos without lighting, it's just very flat. And obviously you don't want that if you want to make it realistic as possible. yeah, yeah, I know you're waiting for this. Yeah, glad you like it. Yeah, so say what we have here. So yeah, again, like don't press too hard. Just press faintly. Yeah, it's magic, definitely. Works wonders. Yeah, so right. But yeah, so don't be too happy about it yet, because I'm just about to add lighting, which makes everything more pop. I mean, even for this right now, I just have the shadow on. So if I turn it off and back on, it's very different. Okay, so now I'm going to add lighting. And for this, I go to the bucket tool, the paint bucket tool. You can also press Alt and click, which is more faster than rather, clicking here and dragging whichever one you want. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a highlight kind of layer. So I have my bucket tool here. It's set as black. And then I paint everything as black. Yeah, so sorry, this part here is not black because it's slightly transparent, as I put opacity, transparency like to 70% or something. So yeah, it looks like that. And anyway, yeah, so it looks black right now. And if I go to the color dodge section, it's not black. Everything's kind of, how would I say? So if you're using the color dodge here, and when you have it black, it won't show, because it's not light. It would only affect the parts which are light. So if I was to select a white color, like so, and if I was to paint over where I want the light, and again I'm using a soft brown brush and I'm using this for my paint pressure, and you want to go faintly, but see what happens. So yeah, it's like a pretty useful way, a very powerful tool to get your lightings sorted out, your highlights. And obviously there's some volume here. You don't want to have it flat. And you can always don't be scared to paint small. You can make it big and then apply it in a large section, although pressing very gently on where you want the light to pop, but very subtle. Alternatively, you can change the opacity, bring it down if it's too powerful, and it is in a lot of cases. So you have to be fragile. Yeah, it's the magic. This is where all the magic happens, so to say. And yeah, try and focus also on these edges. These parts, they're hitting like reflection wise. So you don't wanna avoid not painting these parts too. like, you know, here for example, maybe button here. Thank you. Maybe something like this, for example. Yeah, so try and go gently as you can. Yeah, kind of treat it like a baby, you know. You don't want to like press too hard like that, or you know, do something like that. So try and, you know, treat it gently as you can. Yeah, sorry, I sound really cheesy, but yeah, there you go. And maybe here. Maybe that's a bit too strong. Yeah, maybe. Yep, and also I'm going to add maybe a shadow. So, you know, I do have this layer here. So what I can do is I duplicate by pressing Ctrl J. Put this at the very bottom layer. Select, bring it back here, and what I do is this, just distort it a bit, just to create like a quick illusion, and then press Ctrl U to open hue saturation and bring down the lightness. I mean, if this doesn't affect this part, you can always just duplicate the layers a lot, like that. Fun and easy. And then you can merge the layers together. And then, because it's too dark, you can just play around with the opacity, you know, maybe around here or something, just to give the illusion that it's like floating or something. And maybe finally, as like, you know, as a final touch-up, maybe I can add some kind of effect, like, you know, maybe this part, this could be some kind of like futuristic kind of monitor, like meter or something. So I can go back to my magical internet and then maybe type in something like UI interface motion graphics, maybe. Let's see what that kind of comes up with. Okay, I don't know why it's slow. I'm just gonna go back to Google. Come on. I might use a different browser for this one, so I'm gonna open up. Okay, I'm gonna open up this one here. Okay, that was fast. And then UI interface, motion graphics, maybe. Let's see what comes up with this. Yeah, these ones. You see these ones, like the background's black. These are very easy and handy to use, like so. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I was, let's say, you know, if I was to take this thing here, maybe copy image, go back to the Photoshop, go above lighting, or maybe below lighting, we'll see. And then all you have to do is, from normal, you go either to lighten, screen, maybe color dodge. You can play around with, you know, the different filters, and then you can just place it around where you want this to be in. So I'm just using the distortion tool to see how I can show it. And if you're still not happy with it, you can warp again. And see what kind of thing you can try and get. If not, you know, I could maybe think of a different idea. Just, you know, something that kind of came out really quick. But, you know, it's like a a hologram, you know. Like so. Then I'm just gonna cover the parts which I don't need. Yeah. And then what you have to do is, I'm just going to call this effect. Go back to the lighting part, go back to this one, or we can create another new one if you want, like this. And then again, oops, paint black, normal to color dodge. Use a soft brush, and then you can kind of, you know, maybe pick out this color by pressing Alt as an eyedropper, and then you can either carefully paint like that, or the other way you can do is right click on the layer that you have selected, go to blending options, go to outer glow, and then maybe pick like a bright color, like a blue color, like this, and then you can play around with the glowing effect you have here. You can maybe, you know, make it softer. You can also add an inner glow, and then, you know, I'm gonna pick out a brighter color like that. And then you can, you know, easily create a nice little kind of effect. Like so, although, you know, I think there are some tangents on here, so I might just, you know, maybe move it slightly, adjust the size slightly a bit. And also don't forget, because this is, you know, some kind of bright light hologram kind of effect, you do also have some, you know, lighting reflecting on the helmet, which makes it more realistic and more believable, let's say. And maybe some parts in here too. Oops, it's too strong. And maybe some parts on the edge in here. Like so. So, there you go, guys. This is the demo. I've kind of finished some kind of red hoverbike kind of thing. And yeah, so that's it, guys. Does anyone have any questions, or does anyone have any work that they can show me that I can hopefully give you some feedback? Great. That'd be great to see something. I'm gonna quickly put this in a folder. Just gonna call it demo. Yeah. Okay. No worries. Please, please show me what you have. Yeah. So yeah, I'll just while we wait, I'll show you again the difference between lighting and like, without lighting and with lighting. So it's very you know, it just changes your whole perception when you add lighting on. Which is why you know, when you're working in photobashing, at first it's very how to say, like demotivating, because you don't see much results, as it doesn't look realistic, and you know, it looks like you're just adding random photos on top, making like a collage or something. But once you add lighting on it, and when you know which lighting direction you have, it gives volume, makes it more realistic, more believable and stuff. Thank you very much, Klein. Thank you for joining. And yeah, so definitely, hopefully, when I make my next workshop, you can join too. So thank you for that. Thank you, Klein. Yeah, no worries. And also, I've actually recorded this whole workshop, so hopefully, I can upload it maybe on YouTube or something. So that'd be cool for that. Yeah, I can. So I can show you that while we wait. So let me open. Okay. So if I open my ArtStation, oops, don't know what happened here. So let's say, for example, with this one, these are kind of similar, I would say. I mean, it's like a side view bike that I kind of, you know, had fun playing around with, like this, for example. This one. So for the references, it was basically a bunch of just, you know, different photos that I found on the internet. Sadly, I don't have the original, you know, references already because I've deleted the actual reference images what I'm making, since, you know, it makes it kind of heavy for the file itself. But you know, if you see from this, so you know, I've used basically like a biker person. The top part of, you know, his torso, the bottom part is a very, you know, different biker person that I used, maybe for like a road bike, I think. Different helmet design, and then in here, yeah, very different, but still. This is just one thing I guess I can show you. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, please. Upload them on here. Let me yeah, let me. I'm just seeing what else I have here, which I can show you guys. That's similar to, you know, this sort of thing, if I have any. Mm. Mm. Yeah, maybe there are something, but sorry. Yeah, let me do the feedback first, if that's okay. So I'm just gonna quickly go back here. Okay. So I'm just gonna open up this original image. I'm gonna paste it here. Boom. Cool. So is this like some kind of sci-fi gun that you made, or what was the purpose behind this one? If you could please tell me. It looks like a gun or maybe like a spaceship or something, but I'm not sure. Uh, what it is. Maybe it's yeah, a spaceship. Cool. Which I guess you're looking from the behind, like a back kind of perspective view, where this is the front, this is the back. Yeah, yeah, I thought so. Cool. Nice try. Cool. So what I guess you could do with this. First of all, I'm just gonna thank you for making in a clear background, so it's easy for me to select and delete. Maybe this part too. There we go. Yeah, maybe this one. Or maybe I can do this. Cut it out and put it in a different layer so I can maybe use it. So for this one, cool. Let's see what we can do. Ideally, like, it would be better off to make this in a side or like an orthographic view, because it is pretty hard at first to try and create something in perspective when you're dealing with these kind of photos, and when you don't have, like, you know, let's say enough reference images and stuff. So first of all, if I was you, I'm just gonna put this back into side view for you. As much as I can. Maybe I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just gonna copy paste, create a new group. Just gonna call it feedback. And I'm gonna just place it here for now. Not a soft brush, maybe a hard brush for this. Then so if this was a spaceship, let's see what we can do. You can even use these kind of rectangular shapes as maybe a, you know, maybe some kind of slits, windows. Okay, so let's see what we can do. I'm gonna leave this one here for now. And maybe Yeah, because right now it looks more like a sci-fi gun to what it looks like to me. So either add more thrusters, and by the way, yeah, sorry to ignore the question on what other showcase works that I have made in the same way. I'll quickly give you a link to it before I continue with my feedback. So maybe what do I have? Maybe Beyonce. Maybe I have some stuff in here. Yeah, so this one, for example, this one, this one, this one, this one. Um, Yeah, I've opened up not all of it, I guess, but some of it. So I can send you the links in here so you can see. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'm just pasting all the links in here so you can see. I mean, these are actually pretty old stuff, but hopefully, yeah, there you go. Okay, sorry for that. So, another good thing you can do when you're stuck. Yeah, sure, I'll do environments in the future. Definitely. I'll get more time to do environments next time. But in the meantime, so yeah, so let's say for example, if you're not sure, if you're really stuck on making a spaceship, for example, with this, for example, of what you made, you can always go for inspirations. Different shapes, different silhouettes, shapes, stuff like that. And, maybe on a side view, you do it and see what kind of designs people have made, and then from there you can compare with yours and what it can do. So you can even copy and use this as a reference. You're not gonna use anything, but you're gonna just use a reference for this. You can place it on here and then try and build your own spaceship, but with your own interpretation using this. Okay, so I would, if I was you, I might have to start from scratch, or no, sorry, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. You know, you don't have to start from scratch. You could actually, let's say, copy paste. And then again, it's all about trial and error. So you just see what kind of design you could create from this. So even this, I do like this shape. It has this kind of organic kind of shape. And typically, like spaceships, I guess, you know, even by looking at this, like it's very how to say, blocky. Like it doesn't have like you know, these kind of small holes or small hole details and stuff, if you get what I mean. And again, you can just adjust this, for example. And then maybe I can use this section here, or maybe it's this part. Yeah, because I'm focusing on the shapes, on the silhouette right now, that defines or, you know, makes it look like a spaceship just by, you know, looking at it as a glance. So actually, I'm thinking that maybe this part could be the back part. So I'm gonna select everything, flip horizontal, like so, and just gonna tweak maybe a bit. So I'm gonna cover some parts here, and actually I can use the whole image if I want. And always try and, you know, work far out and also in, close and in. That way, you know, you can kind of keep in track what kind of shape you have. So I can even, you know, adjust this layer here too. And if I don't like this, I can either mask it out, cut it out. I can even select, you know, parts of the selection, like this, and then just, you know, adjust it to your needs, like so. Hey Hike, how are you doing? I'm just sharing, doing a feedback right now, but show you the actual demo that we've done so far for this class, for this workshop, sorry. I'll post it up on the channel, so you can check it out there too. But also, I've recorded the whole workshop, so you can see it too in your free time. Okay, so maybe this part, yeah. So this part is the back, and this part is the front. So obviously, spaceships they could have some kind of weapon, like a how would you call it? Like a nuclear kind of weapon. Like so. And obviously it's kind of blurry a bit, so you can clean it up. You can make it more sharp by either using a maybe a eraser tool. I mean, yeah, obviously I'm kind of heavily getting inspired by this, but it's just to show how maybe a silhouette can look more like a spaceship for this. And cool too, like yeah. Yeah, kind of concentrating a bit on this, sorry if I'm not answering properly. And also for spaceships, this is kind of out topic maybe, but they're usually quite blocky, angular in shape. But even this, you don't really have that much curvy shapes. Like even this part too is actually angular. It has some angles. So you apply the same thing on this too, on this spaceship that you want, and you use a hard round brush without the pen pressure. To make some sharp angles. That way, yeah, it makes it more spaceship-like, I'd say. Okay, so cool. Let's say leave this one for here, and then I'll just quickly. Yeah, thank you. And I'll just quickly put out some lighting on, so as you can see again. And before doing that, I always like to make my own silhouette, so I copy the whole thing. I merged it together by pressing Ctrl E, press Ctrl U to put up hue saturation, make the silhouette, make it invisible, and while you're selecting, you can create a new layer. Let's say we call it shadow, like this. And then, yeah, let's just say maybe lighting. I don't know which way you want to have. So I might have it maybe coming from the left side here. So let's say, there you go, pen pressure. Don't forget to put pen pressure on so you can control more. And yeah, so from here, you can slowly add some shadows, but also you can add gradient. So maybe a bit of a black and white gradient. Control the opacity a bit, maybe a bit more, like so. I'm not going to go in too much detail. It's just, I guess you guys know the gist of it. Um, so yeah, and then I go on color dodge, and then I slowly apply the lighting, like so. And even these parts, you can, you can just pop it out. And you can control, like, even if this is flat, you can kind of control like the volume, depth of, you know, where's what, and what's kind of behind, and what's kind of on top of something. Thanks. Yeah. Actually, anyway, I could do a quick maybe environment if you guys like for your feedback. So yeah, so we have a spaceship right now, like this. And obviously spaceships is in space. So first of all, I would either, you know, select like a random tool, random selection. First of all, make it black, like so. And obviously, if this is space, and if, let's say, if you have like a planet, maybe around here or something, you're not really gonna have lighting on here. No, it doesn't really work like that. Unless you have some other lighting source, you know, coming from here. But most of the time, if it's close to a planet, the planet itself gives most light source. Let's say Earth, for example. So easy. You go and find. Yeah, I know some of you guys might think this is like cheating, but obviously, like I said, it's fast and it's you know, easy. Fast, easy, and it gets the job done. Oops, sorry. PNG. There you go. And okay, so let's say, maybe you can go for, I don't know, maybe this. So you copy, you paste, and since this has a white background, you can use the magic wand tool, select this, delete, and there you go, you have a planet. But to make it more believable and to make it like look like you're there, you can basically think that this black selection that I made is like your camera frame, for example. So maybe it's really big. You know, maybe it's like, well, maybe it's not big, but maybe like the spaceship itself is like very close to the planet, like so. Maybe you can either adjust it, maybe like that, maybe like that, yeah. And try and avoid tangency. Like so, try and avoid, you know, let's say like that. You don't want it like right next to each other because it looks weird. So yeah, let's just say we have one here. We place it here, an angle, and then obviously the lighting is too harsh, so you want to tone it down. Alternatively, maybe, okay, so yeah, you have like a sun source. So obviously a sun or some kind of bright star, it emits kind of like a bright, maybe yellow, or some kind of bright yellowish color. So you could either use a photo filter tool, and just a bit of the lighting. And obviously if it doesn't work, again, try and error. You can do something else, like for example maybe a levels tool. So if I go in here again, click on levels, clip it to the this lighting highlight layer by holding Alt. And then go on the colors and start adjusting the light, for example. Okay, yeah, let's just have it something like this, for example, for now. Obviously, the images are blurred out, but you get the point. And then, so we have a planet here. We go to right-click, blending options, outer glow to make the outside glow. Then pick a color, like a bright color within this planet color. So maybe this color here, like so. You can play around the opacity, play around the size. But again, like maybe the color is just not your right thing. So it could be, maybe this color, kind of unreal. So very vivid. Let's just go for this color then. Yeah. Yeah, and then you can click on the inner glow. Then you can pick an even more bright color, for example, like that. So easily you create some kind of gradation already, a gradient, sorry, on the planet. It's like a, how do you call it? It's an ozone layer, I think. Let's say on Earth. And then also for the stars, you can either manually do these, or if you want to make it more accurate, again, use the power of the internet and search for stars, space. Boom, there you go. Yeah, so let's say we have this, copy image, go on this layer, let's say, exactly, power of the internet. And so let's say we have it on here, and then on the filters, go on, just play around with the filters. I mean, it might not look too obvious, so if it doesn't, you can hit Ctrl-L to levels, and then just play around with the amount of stars that you want. And again, the contrast is kind of too much, so let's say you want to keep it like this, for example. Maybe since it's far out, you want to just try and control the values. And also don't forget to add reflection on the bottom of the spaceship, since it's above the planet. So in there you go, silhouettes. So again, I am selecting my silhouette that I made earlier on, and use the paint bucket tool, paint black, put it on color dodge, and now I'm going to select maybe a red, or maybe this color. Oops, soft round brush, sorry. Yeah. Or maybe a red, yeah. And then slowly go to the places where it should be hitting. Maybe a brighter color, a bit more bright. Oops, sorry. And obviously, the shadow is not really working too well, so I'm gonna create a new layer. Again, multiply, and then I'm gonna add a bit more stronger value contrast of the shadow, where it's kind of away, where it's not reflecting back from the planet. Let's see. Yeah. And obviously, yeah, these parts here, you don't want to have these white outlines. So what I'll do again is, find the original image. Yeah, so this one. Go to layers, matching, defringe, press OK, and then yeah, you should be doing this for maybe all the parts that has like a white outline. But yeah, so yes, there you go. I made like maybe a quick kind of environment view for this spaceship. So yeah, I'll obviously send you guys these works on the Workshop Chat Space channel. But yeah, so there you go, guys. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining the workshop tonight. Yeah, any final questions that you guys have? So we have this one that I did for my demo, and this is for the feedback. Yeah, everything is recorded, so it's cool. Yeah, no worries. I'll be uploading it, then I'll create maybe a new channel on the server where I just upload YouTube channel links for the workshop. So yeah, don't worry about that. But yeah, so if you guys don't have any final questions, then yeah, I'll leave it for today. Thank you guys for joining me until the end for the workshop. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys have learned something from it, I guess. And yeah, if you guys haven't already posted some work on here, please do. I can always give you some feedback later on. So yeah, I'm happy to do that. And yeah, thank you. I'm happy to see your progress too. So yeah, great. Cool. So yeah, see you guys next time. I'm not sure when I'll be doing my next workshop since my work schedule is quite busy right now, but we'll see. And then you can always tell me like if there are any requests that you want for my next workshops and stuff. So yeah, do that. Cool. So leave you guys now. Thank you very much, and yeah, see you guys next time. Cool.